Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. In this video we are going to continue practicing with comparisons in Spanish. Specifically, we are going to practice with comparisons of equality. I do have a separate video on comparisons of inequality. If you're working on how to do comparisons in Spanish, I suggest you watch both videos. You can find the other video on my channel homepage. Before we get started with this practice session, be sure you've studied the topic in your textbook. You can also watch the grammar tutorial video. If you're joining us from outside of the class and you don't have any materials, you can just Google the topic and you'll find some websites or some great YouTube videos that describe how comparisons work in Spanish. When you're ready to review and practice just a little bit, then come here. That's the point of this video. So let's go ahead and get started. When we make a comparison of equality in English, we use the formula as with an adjective between the as and the as. So in Spanish, the formula is tan como. So just insert your adjective between those two words, or you can use an adverb. Let's go ahead and practice. So as nice as, how would you say that? As nice as. Vamos a practicar. ¿Cómo se dice as nice as? Tienen que saber la palabra nice. ¿Cómo se dice nice? How do you say nice? Remember, simpático, it has forms. It's an adjective. Simpático, simpática, simpáticos, simpáticas. So as nice as, be, tan simpático como, tan simpática como, tan simpáticos como, tan simpáticas como. So you might ask, well, how do I decide which one? Well, it depends on what you mention first. If it's masculine and singular, you will say simpático. If it's feminine and singular, simpática. Masculine and plural, simpáticos. Feminine and plural, simpáticas. So this will agree with the person that you mentioned. So if I want to say, for example, Pedro is as nice as Luis, I would say Pedro es tan simpático, because simpático is agreeing with Pedro. If I want to say Maria is as nice as Luisa, then Maria es tan simpática como Luisa. If you're comparing two groups of people, for example, I could say Juan and Luis are as nice as Pedro and Martín. Juan y Luis son tan simpáticos como Pedro y Martín. Or if I'm comparing two females, I might say María y Juana son tan simpáticas como Luisa y Anita. Okay, so again, the adjective has to agree with those that you mentioned first. Okay, as interesting as. So we have interesting is the same masculine and feminine in the singular. So interesante, if it's plural, it's interesantes. So we would just have two possibilities. Tan interesante como, tan interesantes como. So I might say this movie is as interesting as that movie. Esta película es tan interesante como esa película. Or maybe it's two movies. These movies, estas películas son tan interesantes como esas. Okay. So again, just make it agree. It only has to agree with singular and plural in the case of interesante. As big as. Remember, grande is masculine and feminine. So we have tan grande como in the singular and tan grandes como if it's plural. As tall as. Remember, alto. Alto, alta, altos, altas. Tan alto como, tan alta como, tan altos como, tan altas como. Okay, the other type of comparison of equality you can make is with nouns. So notice we have tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas. Which one you choose depends on the noun that you choose. So for example, if I use the noun dinero, like I have as much money as you, I could say yo tengo tanto dinero como tú. It's tanto because it's agreeing with a masculine singular noun, grammatically masculine singular noun, el dinero, tanto dinero como. Let's say I'm using a noun like luck, which in Spanish is la suerte, luck. I have as much luck as you do. Tengo tanta suerte como tú. So it's la suerte, tanta suerte. I have as many books, los libros, tantos libros. Tengo tantos libros como tú. I have as many books as you do. Yo tengo tantas camisas como tú. I have as many shirts as you do. Las camisas, so it's a green. Again, the tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas will agree with the noun that you choose. So as much money as, I actually gave that one as an example already. Do you remember? ¿Se acuerda del ejemplo? Tanto dinero como. El dinero, tanto dinero como. Here's a nice one. As much freedom. Freedom. ¿Cómo se dice freedom en español? Se dice la libertad. La libertad. Tanta libertad como. Tanta libertad como. As much freedom as. Tanta libertad como. As many books as. That was also an example I gave. ¿Cómo se dice as many books as? Tantos libros como. Tantos libros como. Por ejemplo, yo tengo tantos libros como tú. O yo tengo tantos libros como Pedro. As many chairs. We have as many chairs as they do. ¿Cómo se dice as many chairs? Tantas sillas como. Las sillas, remember, it's grammatically feminine and plural, las sillas, so tantas would be the form that corresponds. Tantas sillas como. Tenemos tantas sillas como ellos. We have as many chairs as they do. Okay, so the next step is once you figure out how to work with the little formula, then you put it into complete sentences. ¿Cómo se dice? He is as nice as Pedro. He is as nice as Pedro. Remember with simpático, when you're describing people, we use the verb ser as opposed to the verb estar. So, él es tan simpático como Pedro. Él es tan simpático como Pedro. He is as nice as Pedro. Él es tan simpático como Pedro. I have as much money as you. I have as much money as you. Pardon the birds out my window, los pájaros. They're especially noisy today. I'm not sure why. Okay, I have as much money as you do. Tengo tanto dinero como tú. Tengo tanto dinero como tú. I have as much money as you. Okay, well that's it for this video. Remember, just force yourself to practice. The language is a skill, and the only way to get the skill is through the practice. So the more you force yourself to practice, the better. Okay, well that's it for this video. Hasta luego. Adios.